Have you ever made what seemed like the most obvious decision, only to have it backfire spectacularly? You thought you had all the answers, but the real consequences blindsided you. It's not just you. The world is littered with smart people making seemingly smart decisions that lead to disastrous, unforeseen outcomes. What if the biggest mistakes you've ever made weren't because you were wrong, but because you only saw the first layer? What if there was a way to consistently see what others miss, to anticipate ripple effects, and to make choices that truly lead to success? That's the power of second-order thinking, and it's how the world's greatest thinkers navigate complexity. In the next 10 minutes, we'll demystify this critical mental model, show you how to apply it to everything from your finances to your relationships, and reveal a powerful historical example that proves its profound impact. So, what exactly is second-order thinking? At its core, it's about looking beyond the immediate, obvious consequences of a decision or action, and instead considering the consequences of those consequences. It's thinking one step, or even multiple steps, ahead. Imagine you're playing chess. A first-order thinker sees a move, its immediate impact, and makes it. A second-order thinker, however, doesn't just see their move. They see their opponent's likely response, and then their own next move in anticipation. They're thinking 2, 3, 4 moves deep. Think of it like a set of dominoes. First-order thinking observes you pushing the first domino and it falling. Second-order thinking envisions that first domino knocking over the second, which knocks over the third, and so on, until the entire intricate chain reacts. Most people stop at the first domino. They focus on the direct, immediate, and often superficial effects. They ask, what happens next? A second-order thinker asks, and then what happens? And what happens after that? They consider the second-order, third-order, and even fourth-order effects. They anticipate the cascading reactions, the hidden costs, the unintended benefits, and the subtle shifts in the environment. This isn't about being a pessimist. It's about being a realist, a strategist, and an innovator. It's about developing foresight, anticipating problems before they arise, and seizing opportunities others don't even perceive. Ready to start thinking deeper? Let's dive into some real-world applications. One of the clearest areas where second-order thinking shines is in decision-making, particularly in public policy. Many well-intentioned policies, driven by first-order thinking, create entirely new problems. Consider the common push to ban plastic bags in supermarkets. The first-order effect is clear. Fewer plastic bags polluting landfills and oceans. Great! But what are the second-order effects? Research shows that after plastic bag bans, there's often a significant increase in the sale of thicker, reusable plastic bags, which use more plastic per bag and are often used fewer times before being discarded. We also see a spike in sales of small trash bags for household waste, which many people previously repurposed their grocery bags for. This means more plastic production overall, not less. And let's not forget the increased carbon footprint from manufacturing and transporting paper bags, which are much heavier and less efficient to produce. A first-order thinker sees a problem, plastic pollution, and implements an obvious solution: ban plastic bags. A second-order thinker would consider the shift in consumer behavior, the manufacturing implications, and the total environmental footprint of the alternatives, trying to anticipate the net effect. The initial intention was good, but the cascading consequences often lead to unexpected and sometimes worse outcomes. This is why second-order thinking is so vital for effective governance and responsible decision-making. Now let's talk about money. In the world of investing, second-order thinking is the secret weapon of the truly successful. Most investors operate on first-order thinking. This stock is going up, so I should buy it. Everyone is buying this asset, so I should too. This leads to herd mentality and often painful corrections. Imagine a hot new tech company just launched an incredibly popular gadget. A first-order investor might immediately buy shares in that company. A second-order investor, however, asks, if this company's gadget is popular, what other industries will be impacted? What components does it need? What services will pop up around it? Take the rise of electric vehicles. The first-order play was obvious: invest in Tesla, Rivian, or other EV manufacturers. Smart. But a second-order thinker would look beyond that. They'd consider the massive demand for lithium and cobalt for batteries, leading them to invest in mining companies. Or they'd anticipate the need for vast charging infrastructure, leading them to invest in charging station networks or even utilities. They might even consider the long-term impact on the auto repair industry, or the eventual need for battery recycling. Even Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, famously said, "Invert, always invert." This is a powerful form of second-order thinking. Instead of asking, "How can I succeed?" They ask, what actions would guarantee failure? And then avoid those. By thinking about what could go wrong and its subsequent effects, they avoid common pitfalls and find less obvious paths to success. This isn't just about risk avoidance. It's about identifying opportunities born from anticipated shifts that others haven't even considered. Second-order thinking isn't just for big policy or big money. It's incredibly powerful in your personal life and relationships. How many times have you said or done something with good intentions, only to regret the emotional fallout? Consider the common scenario of giving feedback to a friend or colleague. Your first-order thought might be, they need to hear this blunt truth for their own good. So you deliver direct, unvarnished feedback. The first-order effect might be that they understand the issue. But what are the second-order effects? They might feel attacked, embarrassed, or resentful. Their trust in you could diminish. They might become defensive and shut down, making future communication more difficult. The feedback, while perhaps technically correct, could damage the relationship, leading to long-term interpersonal friction. A second-order thinker would anticipate these potential reactions. They would ask, how will they feel when I say this? How might this impact our relationship next week or next month? Is there a way to deliver this message that preserves their dignity and encourages open dialogue rather than defensiveness? They might choose a different phrasing, a private setting, or even delay the conversation to choose the optimal moment. Similarly, always saying yes to requests. First order, you're helpful, a team player. Second order, you become overloaded, burnt out, your own priorities suffer, and people might even start to take advantage of your generosity. Thinking through these deeper implications allows you to set boundaries, communicate more effectively, and cultivate healthier, more sustainable relationships. To truly grasp the profound impact of second-order thinking, let's look at one of the most incredible real-world experiments, the reintroduction of wolves to Yellowstone National Park in 1995. For 70 years, without wolves, the elk population had boomed. First-order thinking might say, great, more elk, more nature. But the second-order effects were devastating. The elk overgrazed the landscape, especially the young willow and aspen trees along riverbanks. This led to soil erosion, weaker riverbanks, and a decline in beaver populations, who rely on those trees. The ecosystem was collapsing. When wolves were reintroduced, the first-order effect was a decline in the elk population. Predictable. But the second-order effects were breathtaking and entirely unforeseen by most. With fewer elk, the willow and aspen trees began to recover. This led to beavers returning and building dams, which created new habitats for otters, muskrats, and fish. The restored vegetation stabilized riverbanks, reducing erosion and changing the course of the rivers themselves. Even the scavenger population, like eagles and ravens, increased due to wolf kills. This wasn't just about wolves eating elk, it was about wolves changing rivers. This phenomenon, known as a trophic cascade, is the ultimate demonstration of second-order thinking in nature. The initial action, reintroducing wolves, had a ripple effect that transformed an entire ecosystem, proving that sometimes the solution to a problem lies not in the obvious immediate fix, but in understanding the deep, interconnected consequences. Second-order thinking isn't a superpower reserved for geniuses. It's a mental model that anyone can cultivate. It's about pausing before you act, before you decide, and asking, and then what? What are the ripple effects? Who else is impacted? What are the unintended consequences? By habitually asking these questions, you'll start to see patterns others miss, avoid common traps, and consistently make more informed, effective decisions in every aspect of your life. You'll stop reacting to the first domino and start understanding the entire chain. If you found this exploration of second-order thinking valuable, hit that like button to help more people discover the Mindframe channel. Subscribe and ring the notification bell to master more mental models from the world's greatest thinkers. And if you're ready to dig even deeper into how great minds deconstruct problems, check out our video on first principles thinking right here. It's the perfect complement to what you've learned today. Thanks for watching, and keep thinking deeper.